everyone. Welcome to another super interesting chapter. Now, honestly speaking, I have been waiting for quite some time to get to this chapter because it is practically impossible to talk about chemistry without talking about atoms. So, now that we are finally here, let's dig a little deeper into the history of atoms and see how old is this idea of atoms after all. Now, we know that the first atomic bombs that were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki during the Second World War were developed by manipulating atoms. But that does not mean that this science of atoms is just a century old. In fact, the idea of atoms has been around for quite some time. Now, everything around us can be termed matter. Your book, paper, pen, your clothes, stones, wood, rocks, metals, human beings, yes, everything. Now, the interesting thing is that if we keep on cutting this matter, you will eventually reach a point where you cannot cut it anymore. At least that's what the early philosophers thought. They believed that after dividing this matter enough number of times, you will reach a point where you cannot divide this matter anymore. Now, this idea of dividing matter, which is called padarth in Sanskrit, and eventually reaching the smallest indivisible particle was known in ancient India as early as 500 BC. Maharshi Kannad called this smallest indivisible particle Parmanu. Another Indian philosopher went one step further and described that these particles existed in combined forms, and different combinations of these particles constituted all the matter that is around us. And it was around the same time when a Greek philosopher suggested a similar theory, and he called these smallest indivisible particles atoms, derived from the Greek word atomos, which means uncuttable. However, the problem was that all these were mere philosophical speculations, and people actually had no way to confirm or test these theories experimentally. For the same reason, this idea of indivisible atom was not taken much seriously at all. But things took a dramatic turn by the end of the 18th century. People eventually realized that elements and compounds were different, and they became curious to understand the role of atoms in the properties that differentiated them. Now, 200 years down the timeline, what do we know about atoms today? Of course, a lot. But for starters, we know that atom is the smallest and the fundamental building block of matter, be it a solid, liquid, or a gas. And interestingly, these atoms are really small. I mean, so small that 1,000,000 atoms would have to line up to make the width of this sheet of paper. Let me give you some perspective to understand how small an atom actually is. Suppose the radius of a watermelon is 0.15 meters, which is 15 centimeter. Then the radius of hydrogen atom, which is the smallest element, is about 10 power minus 10 meter, which is why we do not use centimeters or meters to express atomic radius, but nanometers or angstroms. 1 nanometer is 10 power minus 9 meter, and 1 angstrom is 10 power minus 10 meter. And when you start experimenting with atoms at this nanoscale, you get materials with completely different properties. For example, we know that gold is, let's say, gold in color or yellow in color, right? But did you know that at nanoscale, gold nanoparticles can appear red or even purple in color? Crazy to think about it, right? I mean, how can gold appear red or purple? Well, that's what people precisely do in nanotechnology. Well, folks, looks like we're in for a good run. Now, honestly, as a kid, it was quite difficult for me to comprehend that it is this teeny tiny mass of almost nothing that determines the nature of different materials around us. So before moving on, we surely need to acknowledge that atomic theory has evolved over hundreds of years, and it is the product of insights offered by hundreds of smart minds who pushed the boundaries of common knowledge and focused on the hows and whys around us. So I surely hope that you will have a great time understanding and appreciating the work of these great scientists. So without any delay, let's quickly move on to our next video.